When my grandfather passed away, I didn't just lose a family member. I lost the one person who always believed I could do something bigger with my life. At the reading of the will, I was told he had left me $250,000. It wasn't a life-changing fortune, but it was everything he had saved for me. I remember holding that number in my mind and thinking, this is my chance. I can't waste this. But what nobody knew was that I didn't want safety. I wanted significance. My parents saw that money as protection. They had worked hard their entire lives. My dad spent 30 years running a small repair shop. My mom clipped coupons and worked extra shifts just so we could stay afloat. To them, security meant survival. So when they told me to buy a house, invest safely, and not take risks, they weren't trying to control me. They were trying to protect me. But I had a different dream. I had spent years quietly studying online businesses and tech startups. Late nights, endless research, watching founders talk about building something from nothing. I believed small businesses were struggling because they didn't have affordable tools to compete. I wanted to build software that could change that. So I did the one thing my parents begged me not to do. I invested almost all of my inheritance into building a startup with two friends. When I told my family, the air in the room felt heavy. My dad didn't yell. That would have hurt less. He just looked disappointed. My mom asked softly, "Are you sure?" My uncle shook his head and said, "You're throwing away your grandfather's hard work." That sentence stayed with me. For the first year, nothing worked the way we planned. We spent money faster than we made it. Our savings shrank. The pressure grew. I stopped sleeping properly. I stopped going out. Every time my phone buzzed, I felt anxiety in my chest. Family dinners became uncomfortable. My dad would ask how the business was going, and I would give short answers. I could feel their doubt. I could feel their fear. And slowly I started feeling it too. 18 months and one of my co-founders quit. He said it was too risky and he needed stability. That night, I sat alone in my apartment staring at the wall. My bank account was almost empty. I had maybe enough to survive 6 more months. For the first time, I thought about quitting. I imagined walking into my parents' house and saying, "You were right." I imagined getting a normal job, rebuilding slowly, pretending this never happened. It would have been easier. It would have stopped the embarrassment. But then I remembered my grandfather. He used to tell me, if you believe in something, give it everything before you walk away. So I decided to fight for it. Instead of chasing growth, I focused on listening. I called customers personally. I asked them what they hated about our product. I rewrote parts of the software myself. I worked 14-hour days fixing problems nobody saw except me. Slowly, something shifted. Customers stopped canceling. They started recommending us. One small business owner emailed me saying our software helped him keep his company open during a difficult year. That message meant more than any revenue number. Then the revenue started growing. Not overnight. Not dramatically. But steadily. Every month was a little better than the last. The fear didn't disappear, but hope started replacing it. 2 years after everyone believed I had wasted my inheritance, we were profitable. Then something unexpected happened. A larger tech company reached out. They had been watching our growth. They liked our model. They wanted to acquire us. When they sent the offer, my hands were shaking. The company was valued at $18 million. My share would be over $6 million after everything was finalized. I didn't celebrate immediately. I just sat there in silence. I thought about the nights I couldn't sleep, the doubt, the embarrassment, the feeling of letting everyone down. Then I thought about how close I had been to quitting. When I told my parents, we sat at the same dinner table where they once questioned my decision. This time, my dad didn't look disappointed. He looked quiet, thoughtful. He finally said, "I was scared for you. I didn't want you to struggle like we did." That's when I realized something important. They weren't doubting my ability. They were afraid of my pain. Success didn't erase the difficult years. It didn't erase the anxiety or the fear, but it changed how I saw myself. I stopped measuring my decisions by how safe they looked. I started measuring them by how deeply I believed in them. The truth is, when you take a real risk, you will look foolish before you look brave. People will misunderstand you before they support you. Even the people who love you the most may doubt you, not because they don't believe in you, but because they're afraid of seeing you fail. If I had chosen comfort, my life would be stable. And there's nothing wrong with stability. But I would always wonder what might have happened if I had trusted myself. Sometimes the money people think you wasted becomes the foundation of your freedom. Sometimes the decision that disappoints everyone at first becomes the story they're proud to tell later. And sometimes, the only difference between failure and success is refusing to quit when it hurts the most.